All right, welcome everybody. We'll get started in just one moment here. I hope everybody's having a great day. And this is this month's elevator pitch. I'm Dan Tomaszewski with Everything MSP. And we have three awesome vendors that each will give us 10 minutes to deliver their best pitch to show you how you can bring value to your MSP business. And today we have a very solid lineup. First up, we're going to have Ryan Shively with Josys, and he's going to dive deep into the world of SaaS management, helping you take control of all those cloud apps. Then we've got Brandon Taylor from Kaseya. He'll be walking us through Kaseya365 Ops, which is their all-in-one IT platform, operations platform, I should say. And then Brian Lawfer with QuoteWerks. He's here to show us how their quoting tool can help simplify and supercharge your sales process. So, important thing, just a couple housekeeping things here. After all the pitches are done, we're going to open up our demo rooms where you can jump in and ask some additional questions, any additional interests that you have. You're welcome to hop into one of the demo rooms. Of course, you can bounce back and forth and catch them all, which would be awesome. And you can get a little bit additional information from each of them. So if you do have questions, just go ahead and save them for our demo rooms. And you can also make some great connections. So a lot of these gentlemen that are going to be presented today, you've probably seen their faces or will see their faces at many events that are happening throughout the country, throughout the world, I should say, and which is great. So always great to have those connections on your side there. And things get even better because we have $250 of cash that we're going to be giving away to one lucky MSP in attendance today. But we do have one catch. There's always got to be some kind of a catch. You got to be here at the end to claim it. So stick around, learn something new, and maybe walk away a little richer. Not only from all the great information, but from the $250 of cash. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off and we're going to get started here. So, our first presenter, we've got Ryan Shively, who is with Josys, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in Ryan. There we go. How are you doing today, Ryan?
I am doing fantastic, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's great to have you here today. And of course, elevator pitch is a great way for our audience to be able to learn about each of our vendors. All three of you have great ways that you can help them become more efficient, more productive, more profitable, more secure, and also deliver a better client experience for their clients. And so, with that being said, before we jump in and turn things over to you. If you could just, give us a quick background of your role and how long you've been at Josys.
Awesome. Yeah, I am an account executive here at Josys. I've been here for about a year and a half now, which is really exciting. I've got some more Josys fun facts for you to share a little bit when I get in the presentation, but I won't spoil those yet. I'm
Sure.
based in Los Angeles, and most of our team here is also based on the West Coast of Los Angeles, or West Coast.
Awesome. Very nice. So you're there in the warm weather as I, kind of battle the cold weather here in Michigan.
Yep.
So before I turn things over to you and start the 10-minute timer for you, I always love to have you share with our audience something unique about yourself that people may not know.
Yeah, unique. I think took a little time to kind of think about that, but I think something that's people find interesting. I have driven across the country 8 times.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
you could say four if you count it back and forth. I like to say eight because it sounds better. And technically it's true. Went across 8 times, but I used to door-to-door selling back in my early career days in college. That took me across the country quite a bit. So spent a lot of time in like North Carolina, Delaware, Maryland area, and being from the West Coast, had to drive across the country to get there and then back. So I would say
Yeah.
that's my fun fact. Very familiar with Highway 40. Really, really familiar with every mile of that road. So
Awesome. That's very cool. And So what we're going to do is kick things off. We're going to go ahead and start your timer right now. You do have co-host capabilities, so if you have something to share, you are all set and you are good to go, my friend.
Awesome. Getting my screen up there. Perfect. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Really excited to share more about Josys with you all today, and how our SaaS management solution is really simplifying how MSPs manage their clients. Before I jump into that, I did promise a little bit of fun company background, as we're actually little bit unique in the software space. We're actually founded in Tokyo, Japan. We're very global. We have offices all over the world, and are actually one of the fastest growing SaaS companies in all of Japan. Have about $225 million of funding, over 250 employees, over 600 customers, which is really exciting. And a little bit of context about how the name Josys actually came about. In Japanese, Joho means information, so they shortened it to Josys for information systems. That's how the name Josys was born out in Japan. Focusing now on what we're here to talk about today, and how Josys is helping our MSPs solve some pretty significant operational pain points. Every year, as you probably all already know, your clients' SaaS and cloud footprints are continuing to grow. For MSPs, we've seen that they lack today usually a single source of truth to track and manage all of the software in their clients' environments. And a lot of the processes today around onboarding and offboarding workflows and user access management they do for clients today is very manual. We see a lot of spreadsheets are still the most common way of tracking what apps companies have and what their users should or shouldn't have. And this kind of lack of governance and control and visibility into clients' environments is really slowing MSPs down. Reduces your efficiency, and it keeps you and the client blind to some of the potential security risks that software presents throughout their organization. So I imagine as I'm speaking, many of you are thinking about that Notion doc or that spreadsheet that you've got your client's app checklist stored in. So it's time for MSPs to have better technology to support their needs, as you need modern and scalable automation and workflows to stay competitive. So Josys is solving for this by creating the multi-tenant SaaS management platform specifically designed for MSPs. So for the first time, MSPs can get full visibility into their client SaaS portfolios, deep insight into their applications, and the ability to manage access all now in one place. So this results in a single source of truth to highlight potential risk, optimization insights, streamline access management, and create better workflows for onboarding, offboarding, overall user lifecycle management. So no more going back and forth between dozens of applications and lists. You can now support all of your clients' SaaS access needs from one comprehensive solution. So how it works, Josys provides a multi-tenant platform to you that enables you to manage all of your clients. Each individual client has an instance where you'll integrate with their systems, their Microsoft, their Google Workspace account, their key applications. And those integrations essentially get you deep insights into the utilization of those applications, visibility into things like risky access, over privileges, and enables you to manage the access to all those applications directly from Josys. We also have multiple discovery capabilities to capture unmanaged SaaS or shadow IT. So now you can get the complete picture of all of your clients' managed applications, and unmanaged applications have the ability to run workflows and user management tasks through Josys, and visibility into risk all in one screen. We've broken down kind of our key features here, really into three main areas where we're going to help MSPs provide value to their clients, starting with lifecycle management, improving the onboarding, offboarding workflow, provide the ability to help them with access reviews and automated workflows, SaaS security features, including shadow IT discovery, privileged access monitoring, SSO and MFA monitoring to help make sure you can have those security and kind of value-based conversations with clients, as well as license optimization capabilities to help keep better inventory of your client spend, leading to better business conversations. The result of this is a significant benefit to the MSP as well as to your clients. So our automations and improved workflows are going to significantly reduce the time it takes to service your clients, enabling you to grow your client base without actually increasing the resources needed to do so. So we've heard from our clients, it's cut their onboarding, offboarding time in half in many cases. So that's a significant burden taken off of your team's shoulders that you can now put into more value generating activities. You can be more proactive in providing, risk management insights to clients that enhance the value you provide. Our MSP partners have been using our insights to initiate new conversations with clients around their risk profile. You wouldn't believe the amount of I like to call them aha moments that they're able to bring to their clients. Examples like finding unauthorized users that still have access to critical apps, like old contractors and consultants, identifying shadow IT insights that the clients had no idea about, finding redundancy. Just think about the next conversation that you have with your clients where you can go and ask them if, they knew that their workforce had 7 different generative AI tools that were being used or an unauthorized document storage tool that 20 people were using. Chances are they knew about a few of these things, but I bet the first thing that's going to pop into their head is, how do they mitigate risk? So now you can have these value-added conversations with your clients, helping protect their environment, ensure important company data and systems, aren't connected to these unknown applications. And then ultimately what we're doing is now helping MSPs deliver, more impact to their clients more efficiently. Because typically MSPs have been reactive in supporting their clients, and Josys is enabling you to be proactive when it comes to providing insights and tools that surface risk and value to your clients before they even know about it. So we've also launched some super exciting new features that we'd love to personally share with all of you if you're interested. We launched a new client scoreboard this past month that's enabling our MSP partners to easily share security and efficiency gaps directly with their clients. It's an awesome way to have value-based conversation starters about the impact you can provide them. We launched improved workflow automations, enabling you to set kind of triggers to enforce access policies without the need of manual effort to be spent. So think about all those always yes, always no requests that take up your team's time that can now be completely automated through Josys. So a lot of super exciting stuff that we want to share with everyone, ultimately making it much more efficient and easier to manage your clients' environment, as well as providing you insights that can help have more value based conversations with your clients as well. We've got a QR code here that all of you can scan. Right now, we're offering for this audience a free SaaS management assessment for up to 2 clients to show you the kind of value that Josys can provide for your MSP as well for your clients directly. So in closing, if you're looking to level up your efficiency, provide more impact to your clients around their SaaS risk and optimization opportunities, we'd love to share more with you about how Josys is helping our MSP partners.
Excellent. And let me just join back here. We do know that, a couple of things that you mentioned, of course, shadow IT. Many end users, of course, they're not trying to buck the system, but they're always looking for new ways just to improve how they do their job. And sometimes that can put the organization at risk and, not knowing about that. So being able to get those insights truly help MSPs better secure their organization, but also just to be able to uncover where some additional costs are being spent when they have tools already in place that they just might not be aware of. So greatly appreciate that, Ryan. And we're going to move on, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in our next speaker. We've got Brandon Taylor joining us.
Awesome.
Brandon, one second here. There is Brandon. How you doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Doing good. I love the background there.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that's an actual photo or an actual visual behind you. It's not a photo, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm inside the server room. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. That's awesome. So, Brandon, we're gonna have you talk about Kaseya 365 Ops, but before we
Yep.
do that, we'd like to have you give us a brief overview of your role at Kaseya, and then also tell us one thing unique about Brandon that everybody would love to hear about.
Yeah. Yeah. So been with Datto Kaseya umbrella for about 6 years, started on the Datto side, based here in Orlando, Florida. My family's got an MSP, strong Kaseya partner here in Orlando. My dad just retired, sold the business to my brother, and then he gave me a small stake there. So I sit on the board of the directors of our family's MSP here in Orlando. And just lucky for me, during my time and tenure here, Kaseya has just become a very large Florida company. And now here in Orlando, we've got our help desk and our engineering team. Um, Outside of that, something interesting. I was working for the MSP remotely up in New York City many, many years ago. And at that point, I think I was pursuing acting, and I ended up working for Marvel's character appearance program and got to travel the world, perform from stadiums to the aisle in Walmart. So you name it, and I've
Oh,
done it. So I was able to do all the characters, and I think my favorite trip was probably Cape Town, South Africa. Was able to do that stadium. That was very, very cool.
wow, that is very cool. Very cool. I love hearing stories like that. And so we're gonna go ahead and jump in, and
Cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and set your 10-minute timer right now, and you can go ahead and share your screen, and
Awesome.
it's a go.
Cool. Yeah, well, we already did an introduction here, but I'll just leave this up here if anybody wants it. Feel free to get in contact with me on LinkedIn or anything like that. Um, so I'm going to try to make this quick, guys. I know a lot of you probably know Kaseya and our timeline, but I just wanted to kind of give you a brief picture of what's been happening over the years, all the acquisitions we've been making, and what's brought us here today. So today we're going to talk about ops, but before we talk about ops, I want to talk how we got here. So you obviously saw everything that we've got in our stack. We realized, wait a minute, we're basically have a full stack. Why don't we just consolidate them? So this is what we did in 2024. We took endpoint and user and put it under one subscription. So RMM, patch management, endpoint response, antivirus, ransomware detection. You even have backup for the user. That's going to live under endpoint. And then for user, you've got the M365 G365 backup, user awareness training. You can automatically lock down endpoints. So, I don't want to spend too much time here, but I just kind of wanted to set the stage on how we got to this point. So what we learned is basically the big reason a lot of people are switching over is integrated and the profit. We're able to, drop the price depending on the SKU anywhere between 30 to 80% of what you're currently paying. So here in 2025, we just announced this in Vegas in April. We've released Kaseya 365 Ops. So what is Ops? Ops is what's making your operation run. So a lot of you may know IT Glue. We've got Autotask PSA as the ticketing system, Network Glue, which lives inside of IT Glue for that network discovery, Connect Booster for cash flow. We have a quoting tool, Kaseya Quote Manager, Datto Commerce back in the day, My IT Process, which is your automated QBRs, executive reports, and then MyGlue, as well as TaskFire, which are the end user collaboration tools if you want to do some co-managed IT. So here's just kind of an idea of what we're looking at here. So we kind of looked at the space and said, all right, well, if you needed to bring all of this to market, what would you have to pay to basically get a like for what we have? So in all, guys, we're upwards to 60 to 80% savings on this SKU. But let me let the tech do the talk, right? So I'll hand out a test after this, and I need to make sure that every single one of these gets back to me. But look, in general, I think you can see here there are some massive workflows happening, massive AI workflows that we've integrated. And I wanted to take some time today to actually show you what it looks like. So Autotask PSA, you may use it, you may not. The big thing now, guys, is with the leverage of IT Glue, so IT documentation, you're able to pull all of that telemetry data inside of Autotask. So IT Glue and Autotask are slowly becoming one, And you could see there with the checklist that was automated just purely based off of the ticket that was submitted. So I know a lot of people know IT Glue, definitely household name. Some big things that I'll show you here at the end is how we've incorporated AI into IT documentation to make it a lot easier and a lot faster for your techs. So here's the big one. I always like to put a personal story here. So my brother wasn't doing QBRs when he took over the business, and I always wondered why. And I really sat down and asked him, like, what is the issue? And he's like, you know what? Honestly, it's putting together the reports. That is what takes us so long to do it. And when you start to use the same vendor, you got to remember now we have access to all that data and we can share along our own products. So you don't have to go build all these reports. If this is already built into your quoting system, your PSA system, your IT documentation, you can see here with like 3 or 4 clicks, you're walking into a QBR 5 minutes before and you've got a report pre-built for you that looks good. It's got all the information they need, and there's some cool scheduling tools in there as well. Quoting. Kaseya Quote Manager. We're going to hear from QuoteWerks later, also a great vendor that we integrate as well. But this is built right in to this K365 Ops. We also integrate with K Micro and a lot of those big distributors out there. Sorry, Ingram Micro. So we'll pull that data so you don't have to physically go in and edit every single SKU. Cash flow management. So, how are you going to get paid? Is somebody overdue? Do you need to apply a credit to an account? These are all things that you can do inside of Connect Booster. End user collaboration. So internal IT. With MyGlue, you're basically able to give them their own login to their IT documentation, allow them to create their own, edit their own. And this also integrates with Autotask if you want them to start managing their own tickets. So you can have a team of internal IT that basically have their own instance that's under yours, but they can't access any other instance. Big thing with network discovery, password rotation. I know with Microsoft and Azure and admin passwords, guys, these have got to be rotated. If this is something you're not implementing, we highly, highly recommend it. So overall, I'm gonna show you one more thing here, but the data's back, guys. I mean, 300,000 AI powered tasks have already been performed. We're seeing upwards of 10 hours saved per month per technician. What does that turn into? It turns into dollars and time for you guys. I've managed techs over my years, guys, and one thing I've noticed is they are terrible at putting notes down. And I'm calling myself out, okay? I was never good at notes. So with this feature here with Cooper Copilot, which is, by the way, included in all of this, the tech just has to put some very, very simple notes of what was done, or it'll actually just take the action of the ticket and it's going to give you a very nice summary. So when you get into that QBR, you show them how many tickets you did. It actually is summarizing it for you in a good professional way. But I've saved the best for last. This is one of the coolest things I think we've released in a long time. So as you can see here, we are actively, while clicking, making IT documentation. So I know, like I said, I'm calling myself out here, was never good at notes, never wanted to do them. We had to pay one of our best techs to stay on a weekend one time extra just to fill out our entire IT Glue instance because we had nothing in there. And now, in 4 or 5 clicks, you've basically automatically created a KB for your business, and it's attaching screenshots, it's integrated into PSA and IT Glue. So if you're sleeping on this stuff, guys, obviously AI is the future, and some of these vendors are really starting to use it. It is very clean, very cool. Definitely reach out to your rep to see this in action. So I know this is recording. I know this is going on YouTube. So let me first and foremost say this is pricing as of today. What are we in? May of 2025. It's the 29th. So we do have a limited time pricing where we have dropped it from 129 to 119. The only real caveat is, we just want you to come in with 3 users. We just think you'd get the most out of it after that. And that's really it, guys. Look, we're here to save profit. We want to be, that vendor who can do it all for you. And I just gave you a little, if you want to get on a demo, please use this. And I know we'll have some breakouts after this, and we'll answer some questions.
Excellent. And go ahead and move back here. For some reason, my video is off. And
That's all right.
Yeah. Just remember, I mean, of course, you know, you being in IT, remember Bill Gates and Windows 95 doing the
Oh, of
presentation,
course.
and you know, this is quite what kind of I feel like right now. So, um, uh, but yeah, so I th thank you for that, Brandon. And you
Yeah,
know, I
absolutely.
couldn't agree more that techs struggle with properly
I'm calling
documenting
myself
their
out. I'm the worst.
yeah,
I was the worst too. I get it. You know, when you're on the
yeah.
phone with someone and you've got a million other things to do, the last thing they want to do at the end of the day is write down everything that they did. You know, nobody
Yeah,
wants
you're
to do
thinking about the next ticket, right?
that. You're
You're
right,
thinking about the
exactly.
next fire. And so, I mean, I think you know, leveraging the AI makes it, you know, the task of properly entering in those notes, you know, a little less, you know, daunting for them. So I appreciate that. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our next presenter. And we have Mr. Brian Lawfer. And let's bring in Brian here. There he is. And how you doing today, Brian?
Doing great. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Another person from Orlando. You know, you and Brandon are both Orlando residents, and which is cool. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and have you give us a little background about yourself and your role at QuoteWerks, and also, of course, tell us something unique about yourself.
All right. Well, I'll talk a little bit about myself in the presentation here, but some things that are unique about me professionally. I've been with the same company for almost a quarter of a century, and I'm not an owner or founder. And personally, I've had almost 2,000 unique varieties of beer.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, you need to come up to Grand Rapids here in Michigan sometime. I think we're still considered Beer City. I know, you know, year after year because all the breweries we have and everything. So, next time you decide to come up to Michigan, you'll have to join me and we'll go have some brewskis,
Awesome.
as us Polish people say. So.
Nice.
So you do have co-host, and I'm going to go ahead and set your timer right now, and you are good to go.
It's just gonna share my screen here. All right. All right. So QuoteWerks is the market-leading sales quoting and proposal solution, also known as CPQ. That's kind of the buzzword these days. We're used by over 35,000 active users worldwide in over 101 countries. And QuoteWorks is utilized in almost every industry except for maybe insurance, with VARs and MSPs making up over a third of our customer base. And you'll find out why in just a moment. So who am I? Well, before QuoteWorks, I was a VAR myself in the pre-MSP days, and also a developer working on military test prep material. And like I said in the intro, I've been with QuoteWorks now for 24 years. In September, it'll be 25. I'm really looking forward to that. And I've had a variety of roles here at QuoteWorks. Primarily nowadays, I go to events. I work with customers on development and business development projects. And you know what I enjoy most about my role though is really meeting with a customer or prospect at an industry event, identifying a problem in their sale process, and then working with them, and then also the community and other partners to come up with a solution that's going to solve that problem. And sometimes that problem is maybe unique to them, but a lot of times that problem could then be, you know, we can take a look at that problem, how other users would have the similar problem, and come up with a grander solution, and then actually implement that solution. And this is something that's unique to my position here at QuoteWorks. And as an example, earlier this year I was at a Channel Pro event, and I was working with a customer that has a lot of inventory. And so they're keeping track of that within QuickBooks. But the problem is as we have different inflation and tariffs and whatnot, they're buying their inventory at different prices. And whenever we were quoting, we were doing the cost off of a fixed cost, not off of an average cost. So based on that conversation, we were able to come up with a solution so that they're able to realize the actual cost that they have for their inventory, which is great. So who are we as a company? Well, we were founded in 1993. by John Liu, who was a VAR himself, who needed a way to quote. And back in the day, you know, you'd get like these floppy disks with text files that you could import into different systems and whatnot, but they were all the separate systems. And so he needed a way that he could go ahead and collaborate and combine all of that into an easy solution to create quotes for his customers, very similar to what you guys need as well. And our growth has really been through word of mouth and especially through our integrations. Our entire team is based here in Orlando, Florida, as you heard in the intro, which means our entire support team, tech support, is US based. So we're really easy to get a hold of, we're easy to work with. And the other big thing is the fact that we are still self-funded. We don't have any outside investors. We are all self-funded here, so we're not beholden to any other company. And so, you know, having no VC funding, like I said, we're not owned by a larger entity, and I believe that we're actually the only quoting solution left in the MSP space that can say this. This enables us to have open integrations with any platform or solution, and we're able to listen to what the community wants and needs rather than what the backers want to make their money back or to resell what they've invested in. And many of the VC-backed PSAs and CRMs have their own quoting tools, and these quoting tools use the same APIs that we do. And just as an example, ConnectWise, they have a quoting tool. We are actually the highest rating CPQ solution on their marketplace. So just a little screenshot there from earlier today. Before QuoteWerks, most of our customers were using like Word or Excel, an accounting solution like QuickBooks or Sage 50, or maybe an ERP system, or one of our competitors. But more than half of our customers didn't have any quoting solution before QuoteWerks. So why did they make the switch? The big one is to reduce errors. And with QuoteWerks, we have a peer review system and an approval process. So that way you can make sure before those quotes go out, they are appropriate for the customer to see. We have electronic signing and acceptance built right into QuoteWerks, so you don't need to use like a DocuSign or anything like that. That's built into the process. We're able to accept credit card and ACH payments as well as leasing payments as well. We integrate with over 80 different payment gateways where we can collect down payment, progress payments, or the full amount. And you did hear that right, 80 different payment gateways. So you don't have to switch to a different payment gateway for QuoteWerks to be able to collect payment on your behalf. Also, the fact that when quotes are viewed. So with QuoteWerks, the first time the customers looked at the quote, each additional time they've looked at it, as they're selecting different options. So your salespeople have that intelligence to know when to follow up with that customer, either because they're actively looking at it or that they haven't actually looked at that quote that you sent them last week. And then the big one, obviously, is the fact that you can create beautiful branded quotes and proposals with your spec sheets, statement of works, agreements, and more. And all of that is able to be used in a full solution that you're able to electronically sign and have the customer pay for there as well. And the other big one that I've heard a lot is the fact that you're standardizing now on pricing and workflows. So now all of your quotes look the same, all of your pricing is the same. It doesn't matter which sales rep it is. Before it goes out the door that each sales rep's quote will look exactly the same. So you've got that branding across the board there. When I talk to prospective customers, I always talk about the 4 pillars for QuoteWerks, and those are price, support, features, and integrations. The big one here is the fact that we're flexible in our pricing. So we're not based on named users, we're based on concurrent users. And a lot of times, like in an MSP, you might have like 5 or 10 people that need to do a quote, but only like 2 or 3 at any given time. So with QuoteWerks, you only need 2 or 3 licenses, not 10 licenses. Also, we give you choice. You can either purchase the licensing up front, or you can go based off of subscription as well. Speaking of choice, you can go on-premise, hybrid, or fully cloud option as well. And there's no commitments. So you can go month to month with us. You can go annually with us. You don't have to worry about being locked into any 3-year commitments. Also, for technical support, our support is legendary in the industry. Like I said, we offer phone support, email support. Obviously, you can do tickets, and we are US based, so we're easy to get a hold of on that. When it comes to features, we have 30 years of experience, and that's not just in the desktop product, but that's in the web-based product as well. And we've got a large community of not only customers, but also partners as well, all over the world. And there's no way that we could have been around for 30 years without being a fully vetted solution. Like I said before, one of the biggest reasons why people know about us is because of our integrations. We have over 115 different integrations, whether that be your CRM or your accounting or distribution as well. So the workflow with QuoteWerks, we do more than just quotes. But to start off with, you're able to create that quote. We've talked about that. You're able to actually source your products either through distribution or through vendors. Like, maybe you work with Ingram Micro, but you also source from Amazon Business as well. Or, maybe you have your services in your PSA like Autotask or ConnectWise. But for those vendors that don't have that electronic capabilities, we actually have a service called Vendor RFQ, where you can actually go out, say, hey, XYZ vendors, I'm looking for pricing on these items. Go ahead and give me cost on it. And when they come back with that cost is automatically updated within QuoteWerks. So you don't have to go back and forth, and we really cut that back and forth down. We're going to automatically create and update that opportunity for you. I know Brandon was talking about how he was bad about creating notes. Salespeople are notoriously bad about keeping those opportunities up to date within your CRM and PSA, and we do that automatically for you. We're able to easily deliver that quote, create a revision process, and the customer is then able to accept that quote and then you're able to collect payment. You're going to win that opportunity. So again, that opportunity is going to be up to date. And then, one of the worst things when it comes to sourcing products is the fact that pricing changes all the time, and you have to change who you have that source from. Well, we take care of that for you and make it automatic for you. And then we're going to place that online order. We're going to create the PO for you within your system. We're going to track that order all the way through delivery and fulfillment. So as you can see, we do more than just quoting. We have a very aggressive product development platform. All of our features are listed on our website. We do between 150 and 300 new features each year. Like I said, we're transparent. And some of our recent and upcoming features, we have a Halo PSA integration that we just came out with. But the big ones coming out soon is we've got a Pax8 marketplace integration and AI scripting assistance as well. And then if you're interested, please feel free to take a look at QuoteWerks on our website. It's just quoteworks.com. And if you're at any event, feel free to stop by and say hi.
With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and rejoin you here. And so just a quick note, one of the things that really jumped out to me is, of course, two quick things. One, just the ability to be able to see when quotes have been opened. As we all know, you send a quote and you're sitting there wondering, I wonder if they've seen that yet. And it's great to be able to see when they've quickly opened it, and you can tell, their level of seriousness. The other thing too is, of course, in today's uncertainty with pricing and availability, the ability to, be able to see which vendors have what and which vendors have what specific price. So who has availability and who has the best price is great. So it makes it so much easier to put those quotes together versus logging into every one of your vendor sites, one of your distributor sites, and trying to figure that out. So great value for MSPs. And thank you, Brian. We're going to move on to the next section here, next segment. And so what we have going on right now is we are going to be getting into our demo rooms. However, before we launch them, we're going to put up a poll right now. And with that poll, we're going to go ahead and ask you just a quick question of which of our vendors that you'd like to hear from. Go ahead and complete that, and we will pass along that information so that they can reach back out to you. And additionally, just a quick reminder: we're giving away the $250 cash to one lucky winner who stays with us until the end of the call. So stick around. You need to be present to win. So while our poll is being completed right now. I'm going to give some instructions here as far as how to join the demo rooms. At the bottom of Zoom, you will see a button actually called Breakout Rooms. And as soon as we open up the breakout rooms, you'll be able to click on that and select the vendor you'd like to join. And feel free to bounce between the rooms. You know, you have a great chance, great one-on-one chance to ask questions and see solutions up close. And so definitely feel free to jump in there and ask any questions that you have. Additionally, so just before we wrap up our demo rooms, there will be a 120-second countdown. So after that, everybody's going to be brought back to the main stage, and we'll close things out, announce our $250 winner. And so without any further delay, Talon, if you want to go ahead and open up the demo rooms, and again, just go ahead and click on the breakout rooms button at the bottom. Choose the demo room that you want to go into, and feel free to jump around. If you do have any questions, if you're feeling unsure about how to get into one of the demo rooms, just go ahead and throw a question in the chat and we'll help you out. And with that being said, for everybody in YouTube land watching us out on YouTube, we are going to go dark now. Thanks for tuning in. All the more reason to join us live on our call. When you're live on the call, you have the opportunity to possibly win $250, but also be able to interact and get your questions answered directly from our presenters. So thank you for our YouTube audience. And with that, we will see everybody in the demo rooms.